We got action. We got action. We got action. We got action. We got woo. We got action. We got action. We got woo. We got action. Now we got action. We got woo. You are now tuned in to Intellectually Petty Radio. Hey, yo, Jobs. We got action, homie.
And you are now tuned into another episode of Intellectually Petty Radio, brought to you by M3S3 Clothing. Men make moves and suckers stand still. And as always, on the mighty Nerve DJs Radio Network. Yo, some days, man, I just be lit off my own intro, man. Yo, shout out to Polo, man. Shout out to Polo Frost, man. Because today is just one of those days, man. I just fucking lit, man, for no reason at all. Okay, maybe it's the wine. Anyway, y'all already know, man. I only rock with legends around here. And today is absolutely no exception. We got Felix the Don, cannabis, hip-hop, just superhero extraordinaire. What's going on, bro?
What's good, my boy? How you doing?
I'm all right, man. How's your family?
Man, everybody's doing good, man. We blessed. You know, I actually just saw the fam for the holiday. I was at my mom's. It was good. Got some good food. You know how I go.
Yeah, that always helps, man. Yo, and before we got on air, man, I was talking about that picture behind you, man. Please, you gotta tell me who. Let us know who that is and why that picture is spectacular.
Oh yeah. So I got, I like to have artwork around, but these paintings are really dope. Obviously, you got Tupac. You know, one of the greats, one of my favorite hip hop artists. I'm more of a Tupac than a Biggie head. You know, I get a lot of controversy for that, but we don't got to talk about that right now. And the second picture is Frank Sinatra. Actually, he was about 17 or 18 in that picture. He slept with a dude's wife, and you couldn't do that back in the day. In the 20s, that shit was not cool. So he got arrested. That's his mugshot.
That's some whack shit that old boy just snitched on him too.
No, for real. That is what. Hey, man, Frank Sinatra got tied in with the mob later on. So the nigga, you snitched on the wrong one.
Yeah, that probably didn't go well for my man's.
Didn't go well.
And from Tupac is light years better than Biggie. I don't care.
Thank you, man. See, and that's how I feel. Just he rap with so much conviction and just intention, and I fuck with Pac heavy. That's definitely the way I lean.
I mean, the way I looked at it, man, Biggie was dope, but it was a job. It was a lifestyle for Pac.
No, for sure. I definitely understand that. I get what you mean. And that's a great way to put it too.
Yeah. Hip hop, man. Yo, what was your come to hip hop moment, or was there one?
My come to hip hop moment would probably be, so when I was younger, I was always into a lot of different music, but my favorite rapper is 50 Cent to this day. So I was about 7 when Get Rich or Die Trying came out. And I had to like sneak and listen to that record. Like my mom didn't like us listening to, she was real crazy, real heavy into like neo soul and old school Motown and things like that. That's where I got that music from. But man, when 50 Cent dropped Get Rich or Die Trying, that shit changed my life. I've been into hip hop ever since, for real.
Okay, where best hip hop album for you?
Get Rich or Die Trying. That's number 1 for me. He went platinum in 5 days.
I mean, but that
before streaming.
Okay, that was 50, but it was also the machine that was behind him.
It was, but 50 is the machine. He's still out here doing it.
No, the machine was already well oiled with come on, man. Death Row was killing the game. And then he had M. And then he had Aftermath.
This is when, I'm like, this is when Dre and M, went and did their own thing, and their first real project was 50 Cent. And man, he spread. Nobody had, and I don't want to say nobody because it's been different, like how people blow up now. But back then, nobody had the type of impact that fast that 50 Cent had on the game. Like all of a sudden, everybody knew who the fuck 50 Cent was.
Snoop did, bro.
Then he had the games. Then he had the. I just feel like he just went so crazy in such a short amount of time.
Snoop did.
That's before my time, though. I can't speak on it.
Snoop was definitely, as far as his was a little bit more drawn out, but I take that back. 50 Cent was not as publicly drawn out over the country. In New York, 50 Cent was already, like a name.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, Snoop just came out of left field, and when he did, like, man, that shit was crazy.
Yeah, but like I said, that's before my time. I'm 27, so I was born in '96.
Oh my goodness, man, you still a baby, bro.
Everybody say that, it's crazy. Yeah, so in my time, definitely that's definitely something that happened in my time period that I really remember. Then if I'm saying like other albums I really like, hip hop albums, I mean, um, gotta put Graduation up there.
I feel that.
Gotta put that up there. Um, it's so crazy. It's so hard now too because a lot of people like a lot of people don't drop great bodies of work nowadays either. A lot of people drop like really good songs, or you might drop a 15
Is
track
it
out.
worth it now though?
Yeah, that I don't know if it is. Everybody's attention span is so short. I don't know if it is. It is worth it if you have the fan base for it. I think. I think if you have like a really core fan base, like enough, like thousands of people that really, really love you and love your stuff, and I think it's worth putting out a body of work. But it's not worth it if you're not making a conceptual body of work. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like if you're just putting 15 songs together and calling it an album, it might not be.
15 songs ain't worth it. I don't care who you are. Not like if I'm gonna put I don't care if you Kendrick, you Drake, whatever. At this point, EP is about as much as I'm gonna give you as a body of work.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. And that's the attention span too. Like everything, like you can give somebody a really, really good EP, five to seven tracks. Like that's
Yeah,
plenty.
yeah,
That's plenty. And then you don't got all the rubble because most, like I said, most LPs, half of the tracks you're not gonna listen to them again.
yeah, and that's sad.
Yeah,
You know,
it
but
is.
niggas is all you know. It's like it's so single driven that people the cohesion is just horrible, man. It just
Yeah,
and I
that's
don't want to sound like an old nigga, but I am an old nigga.
no, but you're right though. Like you said, there's no cohesive thought when it comes to putting an album together. For the most part, there is some people out here still trying to do it, but not necessarily in the hip hop space, and that's what we need. But then again, when niggas do it, it don't sell, so that's probably why niggas not doing it.
Yeah, you know, and I think like really Nas over the last few years, is the only one that's been getting away with putting out whole projects consistently.
Yeah, and that's the shout out to Legend Nas. I feel like that's always been kind of his niche too, like something that he's always done, and he stayed consistent in that. And he got that core fan base that's gonna go buy and listen to that shit. He just won a Grammy off an album, so he's still doing his thing for sure.
Although Marv One just put out a project, him and Courtney Bell, and I fucks with both of those.
Yeah, yeah, hard. I fuck with Courtney Bell. Shout out Courtney Bell too, and I gotta shout him out because on my podcast, The Loft 313, I had a Socket the Renegade and Be Free on, and we was talking, and they brought up Courtney Bell as one of their top 5 MCs in the city, and I didn't know who Courtney Bell was at the time. So I told him I was gonna check him out on that episode, and I have checked you out. I've actually DM bro and all that good shit now too. So, but yeah, shout out Courtney Bell. That nigga nice for sure.
Nigga, yeah, like shout out to Royce.
Shout out Royce. Yeah, I see you have Royce out here. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, the resume is. I've been doing this damn near 10 years, bro.
Yeah, resume crazy. I definitely peeped you when y'all hit me up. I appreciate you having me on.
Oh man, it's an honor, man. Yo, speaking of that, man, how you running into Mikey? If for those who don't know, let me set this up a little bit. Mikey X9 is, especially in Michigan, and I'm not just gonna limit him to Michigan, but in Michigan, like, dude is on the Mount Rushmore of the plays of making shit happen. And I don't care who you talking about. If they are from the glove, that nigga knows you.
Straight up. Straight up.
So how did you run into Mikey?
Man, so the Mikey situation is hilarious. So I've been making music now for probably about 10 years. Anybody who knows me, I've been making music since I was a teenager. So, we got to, I really started seeing, I don't want to call it success, whatever. Started getting a little bit more attention, probably about halfway through, about 5 years in, and we started making moves. And, I did a song with Sada Baby, Montana 300, guys like that. And I would always notice every single time I was at a show or an event is a bald white guy there. no matter where I was at, if I was anywhere important, this nigga was there. And I always used to think, like, bro, who is this dude? And then my shout out my boy Dave Fio. Dave Fio is my homie.
Oh, the singer.
Yeah, the singer. That's my
Yeah.
dog. So Dave, I was actually one of the first people to bring Dave to the studio to do a song with him. At that time, he was just like, we'd be at parties and he'd be like, hey, I can sing. And, it's a novelty thing at that point. But anyway, Dave started getting, his career start taking off and he started getting attention. And Mikey played a big part in helping him blossom. And I started peeping Mikey when I was around Dave. And then I ended up reaching out to Mikey about my podcast, and he actually came on the podcast on the anniversary of Proof Step. So we sat down and had a real good conversation. He brought little Mikey with him, and that was actually the first time we actually conversed. But we hit it off, man, and we been locked in ever since. He, helping one of my fraternity brothers market a show we doing. He plugged me with this, and we just see where that relationship can go. But yeah, shout out Mikey, man.
Yo, what frat you in?
I'm in Pi Lam, man. Pi Lam Defy. I got my.
I heard of that one. Where at? Where you pledge?
Fair State.
Okay, shout out to Fair State.
Big Rapids, Michigan, man. I was out there 2014 to 2016, I believe. Yeah. Pi Lam is, that's the homies. I pledged when I was only 17 when I pledged.
So where you from?
I'm from Detroit. I'm from the west side of Detroit. Moved to Warren, Michigan in like middle school, early middle school, into elementary.
West side, where about?
Honestly, we moved around a lot, man. You like Dexter area, then we really bounced between East and West, but a lot of time spent on the west side on Dexter in my younger years. And then
I'm sorry, bro.
And then we ended up moving. But we got the fuck on though. You feel me? My mom, when I got a little older, we moved to the east side, moved to Warren. Warren is not that much better, but you feel me? It's quiet. So
I think it's better than Dexter, bro. And it's not much better. Stop it. Like, come on, bro.
So we moved to Warren. I went to graduated high school there, moved out to Big Rapids with a couple of the homies. We went to college, and then after college came back and been just grinding ever since. So still living in Warren too, actually.
How you get into the cannabis industry?
So I always really been in the cannabis industry, to be honest with you. So my early start in cannabis was on the black market, but medical side of cannabis. When I turned 18, I got my first medical marijuana card. Mm-hmm. So because when I was 18, and I'm sure when a lot of your younger years, weed was illegal and you could go to jail for that shit. Like it wasn't no fine, no slap on the wrist. Like you was going to jail for a gram. So yeah. So I got a med card when I turned 18 for that reason, because I'm like, man, I'm not fucking about to go to jail because I smoke weed. So I got my first med card, and when we got it, we went to our first dispensary. And the dude who owned the dispensary was cool. My boy, he let us in. He locked that bitch down. Granted, again, this black market, you cannot do this shit no more. Locked the dispensary down. We in the lobby smoking, chilling. I'm showing them my music, all this shit. And that shit just kind of, I'm like, man, this shit kind of dope. And one of my boys owned the dispensary. And shout out Joel. He owned Dream on 8 Mile and Gratiot. And he ended up needing some help at his shop. He brought me into his store when I was like 19, I think. 19 going on 20. I worked for him until I was like 21, and then that's when they did the big ass sweep and shut down all the dispensaries, and they closed like 500 dispensaries in the state of Michigan. And then they started giving out the legal licenses once they legalized cannabis. And in 2019, Live Cannabis opened up their first store in Ferndale. I was one of their first hires as a bud tender. So then
that's a bud tender.
So that's kind of like a bartender, bud tender. You feel me? It's somebody that's going to guide you through the process. Like you come in, they know the products that they got, whatever elements or thing you trying to tackle, they can point you in the direction of the right product to get. If you go to a good store, that's what they do. Sometimes the bud tender is just a pretty face there to sell you some weed. Sometimes they're a clerk, and sometimes they're actually a bud tender, if that makes sense.
Yo, I, as an old head, this was some shit I didn't see coming. Not in my life. I saw it coming, but not in my lifetime. I didn't think it was going to happen in my lifetime. And, it's been a while since I smoked. However, just because I remember when it first became legal in Michigan, I drove back home, and I stopped at one of them stores and just bought a bag of weed just to be able to say, I just went to a fucking store and bought a bag of weed, and I didn't think I would ever be able to do that shit.
Hmm. And a lot of people didn't. Honestly, your generation too, they was fucking scaring y'all with the reefer madness shit and man, like that shit is crazy how they the paraphernalia, I mean not the paraphernalia, the propaganda that they used to like just spew on people about
But that
cannabis.
wasn't us. That was the white folks.
No, that's what I'm saying. But still, just it's out there, and I feel like the older generation just that was that's like you said, you never thought it was gonna happen because that's how the world looked at it.
Yeah.
Like it's such a horrible thing, and now this was the first year daily cannabis use overtook daily alcohol use in history.
Now, what I will say is, I don't know if that's such a good thing, because
I,
we when I was your age had seeds in it. You know, it was decent, but it was regs for the most part. Now, the THC level is through the roof. You got motherfuckers doing edibles that can't wake up. Like it's
and I feel
becoming
like
too much.
But I feel like with everything, it's about how you use it. It's not the plant itself. It's people who abuse it. You can abuse anything. You can abuse video games. You can abuse pop. You can anything is a drug if you do it too much,
True.
and you become addicted to it. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's really about knowing yourself and what you can handle, and still get your shit done. Still walk through life and do what you got to do. Because it's very functional people out here that's high all the time. I'm high all the time, and I'm a very functional adult.
Yeah, but you can't judge that, bro. Somebody else got to judge that for you. Cause
But
niggas be thinking they functional and aren't functional.
I mean, with cannabis, we got 9 stores. I done helped open every one of those stores. I run my own store. It's the busiest store on the roster. My team is solid. We be in there getting our money, doing what we got to do every day. And then on top of that, still recording, filming the podcast, and maintaining relationships with family and friends and all. It's a lot. You feel me? And I feel like I do a good job, a good enough job getting through life. And
Okay, who's the best merger between the cannabis industry and hip hop? Let me get like 3 artists. Like if you could, your corporation, your company says, you know what? Here's a check. We're gonna do a concert. We need you to cross promote. We need 3 acts for this concert.
you saying the biggest?
Yes.
The biggest you gotta
Well,
put
and
Wiz.
it don't even have to be the biggest. The biggest for you.
For me, yeah. So you Wiz, Snoop, easy.
Easy who?
No, I'm saying Wiz and Snoop is easy. Those
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you.
I almost want to pair them together because they literally tour together.
They pretty much are the same nigga.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So I would say Wiz and Snoop. So the Wiz Snoop tour, top 3 for smoking. Who else smoking like that? I mean, you got to throw Red and Meth on there.
I knew you was gonna say that. Did you know that Red ain't really been smoking?
Really?
Yes. Matter of fact, I was on a conference call with him, I don't know, a few months ago. And what did he say? And forgive me if I'm wrong, Red, but like the last few years, like there was a time he stopped smoking. He just didn't tell nobody.
Yeah.
And now he was like, I could do maybe half a blunt. Like he ain't the same Red man.
I feel you. We different now too. It's a whole different. But man, How High is a classic, bro. I can recite that whole movie word for word.
Fucking classic. Is that the best? Is that the best weed movie?
For me, yes. That's my top. That's my top 1. Top 3 for me though. How High. I want to throw Half Baked in there, even though it's kind of corny.
You got to throw Half Baked in there, bro.
And then I'm gonna just go the classic Pineapple Express. I love Pineapple Express.
And see, no, I can't do that, man. I gotta, and I don't even know the names of it at this point. It's been so long. But if I don't put a Cheech and Chong movie in there, I'd be remiss because they are like Cheech and Chong was so ahead of the curve.
Yeah, for sure. I gotta rewatch Cheech and Chong. I seen Cheech and Chong movies when I was young.
Oh man, you nigga, I saw Cheech and Chong movie when I was young.
I definitely need to run that shit back.
Yo, okay, so last project you put out, hip hop wise.
So this year I'm going back to my roots. I'm doing a song I used to do a song every week. Now I'm doing one every month with a visual. So we just dropped the record today. It's called Synthetic. It's got me and my boy I am Gamo, and then my boy Love Francis. So we just put that record out. The video come out next week. That one just dropped today. Last month we dropped I dropped Money Talk, which was a single, kind of like a one mic single. We did it on the rooftop downtown. Super dope record. People was really fucking with it. What else I dropped this year? Wavy Einstein with my boy VMW Cream and Wave Narius. That was produced by Danny G. I don't know if you're familiar with Danny G. He fucked with like Baby Tron and those guys. He's in the hip hop lab camp. But
I'm not
yeah.
the biggest Baby Tron fan.
Okay. I respect his talent. I don't listen to a lot of Baby Tron, but a lot of people around me listen to Baby Tron, and I respect him as a rapper because his ass can't rap. In my opinion, he do got bars.
He is Cash Kid from the suburbs.
But Cash can rap too, though.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like he took Cash Kid's style.
Yeah, he twisted it. I feel what you said. They definitely that shit talk. What's the craziest thing you could say?
Yeah, and then Cash Kid moved. I don't know where he moved to Florida or whatever the fuck. You know, like in the beginnings, like Cash Kid of the Detroit rappers, Cash Kid was my guy.
Yeah, shout out Cash, man. He my boy ATP, Anton the producer. He's like a travel engineer. He rock with Cash. He do a lot of his like engineer mix a lot of his songs and shit like that.
Who are you listening to from the city?
Right now from the city, I mean, man, every time I get put on the spot, it's okay. I'm gonna look at my phone because I'm on the spot right now. So I gotta look and see who I'm really.
All right, why you looking that up? You ain't gotta look this one up. Drake or Kendrick?
Man, you put me in a bad position right now. This gonna come back to haunt me.
Come on, man. Them niggas don't know you.
Come back to haunt me. Drake Petty. You know, Drake, bro, he signed I Love McConan, and then they dug up a tweet from 5 years before that of him saying some shit about Drake, and he dropped that nigga from OVO. That's all I'm saying. Drake Petty. So I fuck with Drake, and I give him more credit than other people give him, but I think Kendrick outmoved him. But Family Matters is a fucking banger. Like Family Matters is a banger, but it just got outshadowed because Meet the Grams dropped 10 minutes later, and then fucking he dropped Not Like Us, which is crazy. So he was playing chess. But Drake should get more credit than he do because all them records he dropped was hard, but Family Matters is a banger.
Drake has been the social media god his whole career.
Yeah.
And he got played.
On
social media. And he panicked. He did not know what the fuck to do. Like anybody else, like even the Pusha T shit, he was able to just basically push Pusha T up under the rug. Yeah. Like it was harmful, it was damaging. He introduced the world to his kid and moved on.
Yeah.
He can't do that with Kendrick.
Nah, man. That nigga Kendrick outmoved that nigga. That was I had to.
Yeah. When he put the shit out like 10 minutes after he put his shit out, like that was.
Oh, I was in this bitch stressed out, spiking niggas for this nigga Drake. Like I was having a rough week, bro. Niggas was in my head. They keep playing the songs and shit. I'm like, bro.
And I rarely get into any of this, like the popular trending topics or whatever. But I made a video about that shit before Not Like Us came out, and I was like, Kendrick is dope, but it ain't simple enough.
Yeah,
he needs some simple shit with a really dope beat. That's a perfect ass. And then he came out with Not Like Us.
I swear, I said the same thing. I said, bro, Kendrick, because everybody was going crazy over the Kendrick records, and I'm like, bro, these beats is not that good.
They not.
Like, it's not some shit that I'm gonna really bump to. You just excited about what the nigga's saying, which I get. That's what rap is about. Cool, but I'm like, he got to drop a banger. I ain't heard a banger yet. Then Drake dropped Family Matters. I'm like, okay, he dropped a banger. And even when Meet the Grams came out,
I was like, okay, it was cool.
I'm like, that shit is cap anyway, and the beat is weird. I don't fuck with the beat. And then he dropped Not Like Us, and I couldn't say nothing. I'm like, okay,
it was like, yeah, bro, like Like, yeah, and even Drake was like, I forget what song, Heart Six or some shit he came out with.
Yeah, that last one. He
That
should.
was just so desperate.
Yeah, because it's like, bro, we get it. Now you done talked about everybody. Now you need to drop a banger. Stop dropping these rapidy, hippity hoppity, fucking lyrical schmerical records and drop a fucking heater.
Yeah,
'Cause that's
yeah,
what you just did. But
yeah.
you know what Drake gonna do? He about to drop that views too, and it's gonna be subliminal hits in every song. And
Yeah,
he gonna
that nigga might want to stop doing that. Or at least, go to the second tier MCs. Matter of fact, talk shit about J. Cole. I know that's your man's, but
oh yeah, you gotta talk shit about that.
he's not gonna do anything. Although initially when he bowed out, I was like, that's some whole shit. That's weak.
Yeah, but now
But now in hindsight, I'm like, yeah, that nigga must have got
he knew
he
what
must have knew something.
he knew what was going on. Yeah, because niggas was in the industry talking. They like before the first record dropped, Joe Budden and them niggas was like, "Oh yeah, we heard some shit. We heard these niggas about to drop crazy." And then that was like 3 days before the song started dropping. So niggas already heard. J. Cole definitely heard that shit and knew how crazy it was about to get. He was like, "I'm not about to do that."
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I can't be mad at that, man. Like I didn't, and then especially if you got any type of skeletons in your closet, because them niggas was actually going pretty.
Yeah, they was fooling.
Yeah,
They don't like each other for real.
yeah, that was, jeez. If I got some skeletons in my closet, like, I'm cool, bro. Y'all go ahead and be mad at each other, nigga.
I ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah, especially with the whole Diddy situation, like that niggas in there. That's problem enough. Like I'm not.
Yeah, niggas.
Oh my god, and
It's crazy out here.
man, like the Diddy is just done.
Diddy, man. But niggas been telling niggas about Diddy. I'm a 50 Cent fan. 50 Cent been telling you niggas about Diddy since 2005.
Okay, but 50 Cent only do that about black people.
But black people be fucking with him too. 50 Cent also
I'm just saying, it's
he
white.
take white people to court. The black people be wanting to do it on social media. He take white
No,
folks.
I don't know. But at this point, ain't nobody fucking with 50 on social media, and we know that. 50 Cent only goes after niggas on social media, and I got a problem with that because our counterparts do some of the same goofy shit, if not worse, and he says nothing. Now, that's not to excuse Puffy. You deserve all that you're getting right now, bro. Like, it's hard to say you should give some type of I don't even know what to say. Like, it's hard to kind of look at him as a human being, even though he's a human being. Because if you give him any type of grace, you look like an ogre, and somehow you defending Diddy.
Yeah. No.
You know, but like, because that video was so ugly.
Man, yeah. That shit was, you talking about the Cassie video?
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
that shit was crazy. Again, though, man, people been saying this about this man for so long. It's like, bro, when people say the same thing about you for that long, something's got to be going on.
Don't nobody care, man, because he was making money.
Yeah, I mean, shit, he still make money. That just over that shit. It's that we at a point in time, I feel like people say it's a sensitive time. It's like, no, people are just not taking bullshit no more. People used to sweep bullshit under the rug a lot, and it still gets swept under the rug a lot. But some people is just over the bullshit, and that's why
we sweep the bullshit under the rug for certain individuals. So ain't nobody criticizing Jerry Seinfeld for being a whole petty.
Yeah, that nigga pedophile. I don't know about Jerry Seinfeld.
You look at it. I mean, his wife was like, I don't know how young. I don't want his lawyers on my ass, but it was creepy. It was like the Reverend that I seen on social media recently. This nigga 60 something and his wife is 19.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like bro, like you and he been knowing her since she was 13.
That's
allegedly.
That's and that's because you get into the argument of people is like, well, if this 19-year-old is a consenting adult, but it's like you've known them since they were 13. How long have you been attracted to this person?
Are they really consenting if you've groomed them to that point?
That too, yeah.
You know, and I'm sorry, bro. I know this shit got way deeper than necessary for hip hop and weed.
Hey, we talking. Fuck it. I'm here with you. But no, I feel you. I'm here with you.
All right, best strand. What's the best to smoke?
My favorite. Hey, you set me up good. One of my favorites to smoke, and I'm mad I don't got my bag downstairs, man. First, before I show this bag, shout out Michigander Fire. I fuck with them. They weed is fire as hell. I got two of their strains in the car right now. I think I got the mellows. It's like, and they got a little marshmallow man on the bag, and then they also got some cream soda that's fire. But anyway, left it in the car. Shout out Michigander Fire. Love y'all. But also this permanent marker from Seed Junkie is probably my favorite shit right now. This shit is fire.
Yo, and while we at it, man, I gotta shout out my cousin A1. Yo, if you, like that dude, I don't think I've ever met a person that could outsmoke him.
Let's try. What up, A1?
And I would absolutely put money down on that one. So if you got somebody, bro, and you know, at this point, like why aren't there weed like the weed Olympics?
So I mean, I feel what you're saying about smoking. They do shit like that as far as growing in strains. So we do something every year called the Olympics. I usually help judge. That's put on by the Woodward Movement team and everything like that. It's real cool. Exotic Matter puts it on and shit as well. And they basically have all these growers put their best strains in. You smoke all them bitches and kind of rate them. And then they have like an award show. And they do that on all scales. You got the cannabis cup, the hash bash cup, all that shit.
Right.
So,
I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about
smoking.
the performance part
Yeah.
of smoking. Like like I went to a party, I don't know, probably like 25 years ago, and it was like who could roll the biggest blunt. And this shit was fucking phenomenal. I to this day, I still remember this shit. And like my nigga was rolling like the biggest blunt possible. He got all the way to the end. That bitch cracked. It was epic.
Yeah.
Like, why don't we have like the weed performance part of it? Like the smoking part is great. Like which one is the best? You know, like you were saying. But the stuff that acts the tangibles, the shit that most weed smokers can identify with.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying. Like shit, I could probably roll faster than a lot of people. I can roll a blunt really fucking fast.
See that right there, fastest blunt roller, fastest joint roller.
Yeah. I feel what you're saying. The Weed Olympics. I'm into it. Hey, maybe that's something we need to bring to light.
Yeah, you know, I don't smoke. You know, but yes, nigga, I'm with that shit. You know, like who could take the biggest pull?
Exactly. You on to something. Because
You
I'm
know,
telling you, I'm out rolling anybody.
well, out rolling and out smoking is two different things.
I'm out smoking anybody too.
Oh man, yeah, bro. You not, bro.
I'm telling you, man, I smoke for real. Ask anybody that know me. I smoke for real.
Are you all right? So we talking about dabs?
I do it all. Only thing I can do edibles, but I just don't prefer edibles. I like to smoke. It's like a ceremonial thing for me. Like I'm rolling up and smoking. If I'm not doing something, which I usually am, so I have the pre-rolls around too. But usually, if I get some time to sit down, I'm gonna roll up a wood, and I'm pretty much smoking throughout most of my day. But it just keep me level. You feel me? I deal with a lot of people, and it just keep me level to happy and make sure I get my shit done. You feel me? But I can smoke with the best of them.
Are edibles too dangerous?
No, because you got people that can educate people now. Like I said, if you go to a store like Live or any of our counterparts like Canna Vista and Explore and Pure and all those stores as well who are under our umbrella, there are people that's going to teach you what you need to do because it's medicine. You know, if a doctor give you pills and you go home and take too many of them, this shit can be dangerous. So it's the same. It's looked at the same way. Like we even had these nurses from Wayne State that come in twice a semester, and we teach them about cannabis and how we prescribe it to people and things like that, and how the compliance works and all that shit. But to answer your question again, I'm going off on a tangent, but no, I don't think edibles are dangerous. You just gotta know what you're doing, and it's really cool to get them from dispensaries now because how they dose them out. And you can take it more like a prescribed medicine and figure out what dose works for you because everybody's body is different. 10 milligrams to you might not feel the same as 10 milligrams to me.
Man.
Some of our receptors just react differently with cannabis.
Yo, Okay, so last time you had a performance.
Yep. Last time I had a performance was I think Owasso was my last performance. Shout out my boy Toxic Reality. He puts on his own shows out there. That's his hometown. It's about an hour and a half away, hour away. But I got a show there on the 8th next week. And then I got a show with Sada. Shout out Sada, baby. We got a show on June 15th in Detroit at Detroit Mercy. So that's about to be I mean not Detroit Mercy, University of Detroit. UD.
Really?
Yeah, at the little entertainment center out there. So that's about to be dope. That's on June 15th. Mikey's helping promote that too.
Yo, I need a solid interview too. The
Word.
fuck? I'm surprised though.
I put you in contact with Muna. That's the guy, you know. Muna will get you together. I got you.
University of Detroit doing SADA?
So it's the entertainment building. It's actually owned. It's privately owned now, but it's the entertainment building at the campus, though. Yes, it's right on the campus, but it's privately owned. And my fraternity brother is putting on the show with Sada, and he booked me, Jolo Reeves, my boy VMW Creams performing, Gamo, D Dicey. Who else we got? Presto Baker, Love Francis. It's gonna be dope.
So you don't remember Detroit when the festivals were really popping downtown and like before the Riverwalk.
Nah, not really.
You missed the I know your uncles be telling you.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you, man, and I feel like it's revitalizing now too. You know, downtown is starting to get lit again. I feel like
It's not the same, bro.
yeah,
You got white people with poodles downtown.
you do. It is very gentrified down there, though. For sure.
Yeah, and then I remember my daughter stayed off of Woodward a few years ago. Her one of her friends. And I remember 8 o'clock in the morning and coming out of her house, drinking a cup of coffee and seeing the old white dude walking the poodle. And my heart ached. It broke. It really did. Because that's not my Detroit.
It's different down there now, man. It's a lot. I feel like it's people want to live here, and you know the population is growing. People are invested in the real estate, especially downtown and the surrounding areas downtown. It's definitely a lot different than what it used to be. But I think that we are still one of the heaviest black populated cities, though, in America, which is dope.
Yeah, I don't know if we're sharing in the financial boom like we should be. Although I will say, man, downtown Detroit looks beautiful.
It looks beautiful, and it's just gonna keep getting better, man. They building skyscrapers and all type of shit down there. I'm
Yeah,
hearing that they possibly might demolish the Renaissance Center, which is crazy.
yeah, that's
But
crazy.
it's like you got to put something insane there if you're gonna do that.
Like I remember when they built matter of fact, I remember when they built the Renaissance Center, and I remember when they built the People Mover. Yeah, I thought the People Mover was the dumbest shit ever. Still do.
I've never wrote it.
Yeah, I got on it 2 weeks ago actually. But my thing is like, okay, like stop acting like a little city. Act like a big dog. Build a fucking subway like everybody else had.
I feel what you're saying. Yeah,
And y'all built some, and this was Coleman Young doing. I was surprised. Like there was really small thinking for him. And had he been, like especially they spent a lot of bread on that shit. Had he been more, thinking more futuristic, he could have connected the burbs. Although he had a really contentious relationship with the suburbs at the time. So that
yeah.
probably
I
had,
don't know. A subway in Detroit just sounds like an awful idea.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it did in New York too, but it can't be no worse than them niggas.
New York subways are crazy.
Oh my god, and they stink.
They do stink. They're
Yo,
crazy.
favorite city outside of Detroit?
My favorite city that I've been to outside of Detroit. It's a good question. Been a few places. Are we talking about in America?
Anywhere on the planet, in the galaxy.
Okay, so we went to Turks and Caicos. Turks and Caicos was lit, and so that was dope. And then if we talking in America, I really do enjoy. I like being in LA, man. I go to LA a couple times a year. I love being out there. It's a lot to do. It's a lot of people. More so in like the hills, though. We was like West Hills, California last time I stayed out there, and that shit was beautiful.
So y'all wasn't in gang banging LA. Y'all was in
No, like
gang banging light.
I go, man. Like I go where it's beautiful out there, man. I love going to LA. I love going to LA.
What's Turks and Caicos like? I've heard
Turks,
about it.
Turks and Caicos is cool. It's two sides of Turks and Caicos. You got the party side, and then you just got the town side where if you just want to chill and just be on the island. And it's donkeys and fucking and stray dogs everywhere, but it's actually very cool. It's nice, especially it's usually nice like most time of the year. Um, very beautiful, great food. Great fucking food. We had some jerk chicken out there. That shit was phenomenal. We went there last summer, but Turks and Caicos is dope. I recommend it if you've ever been.
What you doing in 10 years?
10 years. So I'm an entrepreneur, man. I'm all about just like maximizing my opportunities and my relationships and what my connection with people. So I really just want to, see where I can take this entertainment stuff. Like maybe, I don't know, maybe writing for other people, things like that. Outside of the music though, I do want to get into acting, maybe writing scripts someday. I've always had an interest in that. I don't have a lot of experience with it, but that's definitely something I want to get into. And then building on the cannabis side on my own, like my own brands though. I do want to get my own brands of cannabis going, and some shit might be in the works.
Yo, I mean, you're in the perfect spot, man. Detroit is the independent movie capital right now.
Yeah, for real. And I'm trying to get it. I'm not in them circles. You feel me? Like I'm very vested in the cannabis industry in in music, but I haven't met too many people that I know that are in that space, and I need to get around more people and like-minded people like that because I definitely want to get into acting and then script writing and producing and things like that.
Oh man, you got to go to Dennis Reed's camp.
I hear Dennis Reed's name a lot. I think I follow him.
Yeah, like I interviewed him last week. Like it's like for Detroit,
Plug me,
Dennis
man.
Dennis Reed and Moolah Films are like
Yeah, he's killing the Tubi game right now. Dennis Reed, right? That's him.
yeah.
Yeah,
Both of them are.
I don't know the other dude.
Darren Brown was killing them. Because I've had all I had Thomas L. Harris from Moolah Films on. I had Darren Brown on. I had Dennis Reed on. And it was geez, I'm forgetting somebody. But it's like because I remember Dennis Reed telling me it's like 4 or 5 that have been doing it like so long in Detroit that they have kind of like separated themselves, and you can tell kind of tell by the work.
Yeah.
But absolutely, anybody I can plug you in with, bro, I got you.
Yeah, I appreciate it because that is something like that's where my podcast comes in, kind of comes into play because we shoot it more like a talk show. It's like a nighttime television talk show where I interview a person, and then after the interview, we do like a live musical performance. So it's really kind of gearing me up, just being more comfortable on camera and shit like that because I really do want to get into acting. That's something I've always wanted to do.
I can guarantee you though what he gonna tell you is come to the acting class.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know you got to take acting class. I was in theater when I was younger. We was in choir. We used to do a lot of plays and musicals and things like that too. So I do have some slight experience, but I haven't done a lot of that since I was in school. So
Oh my goodness, yeah, I've never done any acting at all.
yeah,
Well, not any professional acting. I've lied over the years, but I guess technically that's acting.
that is got a little bit of experience.
Podcast wise, who you watching? Who's dope to you?
So I don't watch a lot, which is crazy to say because I have a podcast. I don't watch a lot of full length podcasts. I do watch a lot of clips of podcasts. I try to watch full ones when I have time, but for the most part, I'm just watching clips. But Shits and Gigs is a really good one. Them guys are super funny. They're two British guys. Joe Rogan, I catch a lot of his shit every once in a while. Sometimes it's crazy, sometimes it's beneficial. It really just depends. And then other than that, though, I don't watch too many podcasts. Like I said, I just see mostly clips. Those are ones that I see a lot of and I kind of stay up on. But for the most part, I'm just seeing clips on social media because I'm so focused on my own platform and, creating that. I feel like it takes me away from viewing other people's shit as much.
I'm not a Joe Rogan fan.
I'm not a huge Joe Rogan fan either. Like I said, sometimes his podcast, sometimes he has people on though that
Yeah.
he's spitting some shit
I don't know why black people go on Joe Rogan. I'm just gonna be honest about
because
this.
he's the top podcast.
I
Well,
don't
they
give a
put the
fuck.
numbers
He's the
out.
top.
He's got the good
Like
numbers. That's why they go.
you're the top podcast because of black people. Black people have okayed you.
Yeah, and that
You know.
and I feel like he has been doing it. He has been doing it for a long time, and I don't because honestly, like I said, I don't watch Joe Rogan, but I know that like when they put those numbers out, he is. I think he was the number one podcast watched
Oh yeah.
among black people.
Yeah, yeah. Joe Rogan, I'm not. I can't take. The numbers don't lie. Your man's has been putting up
So black people love Joe Rogan.
crazy numbers forever. I just don't get. I don't
Yeah.
get. And yes, people go, "Oh, you just hating." Yeah, okay, yeah. So it wasn't the only nigga I hated on. I've hated on other people. Nah, how you feel about that, nigga? But but my thing is, okay, it ain't gotta be me. There are a gazillion black podcasts
Yeah,
of equal or better standing than Joe Rogan. They gotta stop letting because he shows up a million times on your timeline.
it's that, but he also gets people that they want to hear from. That's the thing, and that's kind of how my podcast is like. I was like, there's a fine line of like, you want to bring the homies on and have that real genuine conversation, but for viewership, you also want people on that people gonna want to view as well. So it's a balance you try to find, and some people don't give a fuck about that balance. Like I don't think Joe Rogan don't give a fuck about the balance because sometimes he do be having random ass people on his show, but those random people are usually the ones that be kicking some knowledge though.
I mean, but his reach is that now, like, anybody he brings on the show is automatically 50 times more interesting.
Yeah,
You know, now I will say that, like, I can't take away from the fact dude does it. Whoever is researching for him does a great job. Before they bring the person on and when they bring the person on, and that's the key.
that is the key. Like I've learned that like knowing who you're interviewing, it makes it so much easier.
Like, see, and I will say, I may on occasion pretend to not know more about the person than I actually do,
Yeah.
because I'm not gonna have anybody on here that I haven't looked up.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Now, and I don't know if I worded that right. I don't know. I don't really give a fuck. But I don't ever want to just be like, okay, I may get some things wrong, but I don't ever want to have anybody on that I have not done any, just on here.
Exactly. And I'm the same way. Everybody that has come on my show so far is like you're somebody that even if I don't know you 1,000, you're not my homie, it's somebody that I'm familiar with and we've been in similar spaces. And I know we got some shit we can talk about.
Oh
That's
my
really
God.
that's
And
really how I do my show too.
I talk about my worst show was Chuck D.
Chuck D, really?
Fucking horrible.
Why that? What went wrong there? You think?
Because I like his people. Like, I had been wanting to interview for a long ass time and been trying, and out the blue, his people called me up. Okay, you got a half an hour. You ready? I was not ready. And at the time, I had not had enough people of his caliber on the show to eliminate my nerves. Now, like, if Chuck D called me today, it'd be different. Even if I don't remember all your songs or whatever, I'm not gonna sound like a nervous bitch.
Yeah, I feel what you said.
Yeah, and I was like, and you could tell that the interview was weighted. Like, I was not comfortable talking to him.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get you. Yeah, I've definitely been in a situation like that where, and I'm not gonna say who because I don't know who's gonna watch this, but I've definitely been in a situation like that where I felt like I was handling a lot of the weight of the conversation, and it was awkward at times. But I do feel like I handled it well, and that I pivoted very well in the situation. But I feel you because it was like they wasn't giving me nothing, like very dry answers, awkward silences, and I just really had to roll with it the whole time. Because we don't do at my show, we don't, just like this, we don't do no fucking retakes. Like we sit, it looks like we shot that bitch 50 times. That's one run through.
Oh, a boring motherfucker, man, is so us.
Yeah,
I've
man.
come
That
across that a few times. And it's like, bruh, like, and then you get to a point where it's like, okay, I really don't want to ask you a question, and now I'm looking at the clock.
yeah, yeah.
And when I really start looking at the clock, and the shit slows down, and oh my god,
It feels like, yeah, because I feel like the same way. Like when I'm having real good conversation, all because we film, is a certain amount of time the camera can film before you got to reset. So sometimes you have a great conversation. It's like my director's already like, "Hey, yo, you got 2 minutes." You feel me? It's like, damn, I don't even feel like we've been talking that long. But yeah, with that guy, it was like, man, we didn't talk fucking everything. Yo, that's so crazy. And I wasn't the only one to notice. The viewers noticed too. But hey, if y'all know who I'm talking about, if you're watching this, shout out that man. I'm not gonna say his name, but shout him out. I still fuck with you.
so what's the conversation like with the team after an interview like that?
Man, we just get blowed and laugh about that shit. Like, man, like we did an interview with man, I don't even want to tell this story, but fuck it. We did an interview with Calvin Johnson and Rob Sims, right?
The wide receiver.
Yes, that's my
Oh,
guy. Shout out Calvin. Shout out Megatron and Rob, man. Love y'all. Shout out Primitive. Primitive Cannabis is their brand, and we sell their shit in our stores. I tell you, I'm tapped in with this weed shit. It's crazy. But we had Megatron and Rob Sims on. They're partners in Primitive. God. I'm asking these questions, and my director after the interview tells me, like, man, you was kind of hoeing Rob a little bit. Man, I hate I'm saying this. Shout out Rob. I love Rob, bro. You kind of was hoeing Rob a little bit. I'm like, bro, what you mean? He like, you just kept asking questions where Calvin just had way better answers. I'm like, bro, like, but I'm asking simple, like, tell me about your draft night. Like, maybe I shouldn't, like, obviously, because he fell into the second or third round. Calvin went, I think, top 3 or number 1. Like, so you feel me? So I'm like, bro, I wasn't trying to home. But then I rewatched, and my director was also just being hot. Shout out D. That nigga was hot. Because Rob handled all the questions great. Shout out Rob Sims. I was not hoeing Rob Sims, but D felt like I was hoeing him because it was just like every question to be like, I ask a question and Rob would always answer first. And then I'd be like, okay, Calvin Johnson, now tell me your answer. So he felt like I was just jumping right from him. But I'm like, no, I didn't tell you to answer first every time. I just would ask the question and he would just answer first. And then I would go to Calvin after.
They were like, my first contract was $20,000. Megatron, oh, my first contract was $20 million.
No, but shout out Rob Sims, bro. He was a dog on the offensive line, man. I fuck with that man. He's a good dude, and yeah. But D is funny. That's how those conversations go, though. That nigga, he like, bro, you was hoeing Rob on the question.
Yo, that's crazy. Yo, do you get starstruck?
Nah, really, because I had met Calvin a couple times before. We like I said, we sell his product in the store. He came and did like a surprise visit when I was running the Lake Orion store a couple years ago. That was the first time I met him. And that was random. Like them niggas, they called me over to walkie, like, hey, Calvin Johnson's here asking for you. Hey, you go up there, and even then it was cool. Like he showed so much love, but like he invited me and my boys out. We went to an event at Hotbox Social in Hazel Park. It's like it was the first smoke lounge that so we went out there, and his company, him and Rob's company Primitive, had like an event, and it was the Chiefs and Ravens game during the playoffs. And he invited us out, man. I took a bunch of my homies with me. We went, had lunch with everybody, smoked a bunch of weed, did all that shit. Was cool. Then we got to actually kick it with Rob and Calvin, and that was a real cool experience. And one thing that did kind of fuck me up, because you asked if I was ever starstruck. So this is where the story's going. When I was about to leave, Calvin like dapped me up, but then you know how black people is, they dap you up and they bring you in for the hug, and then he called me his brother, and that shit fucked me up. I was like, hey, he a real nigga. Like
you cried in the car.
No, for real, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie, that's some real shit. Like he showed so much hospitality to my friends, people he's never met before, and then called me his brother in front of a crowd of people.
Yeah.
hug me like that. See, he don't got to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All we do is sell his weed, but that's a real brother right there. So
That's
shout out
fucking
Calvin.
Megatron.
Shout out Rob Sim. Shout out my boy Mike Subis. Mike, don't kill me if I said your name wrong. But yeah, shout out the whole primitive team.
Yo, that's crazy right there, man. Y'all welcome to come on if you want. I'm just throwing that out there.
You feel? Hey, I can plug you with them, man. They got a good brand. They always
Fucking-
come to visible.
Come on, bro. Like who from Detroit would ever turn down Megatron?
You can't.
Yeah,
It's crazy. I fucking manifested that shit. I knew when we started the podcast. I'm like, I know Calvin Johnson. I don't know him like because this was before the whole shit I just explained to you.
Mm-hmm.
This is just I've met him once. We sell his weed. I have access to him. You feel me? And I'm like, I'm gonna get him on a podcast. That was the first thing I said. We started our podcast, and he was on episode 12.
Oh, Jesus Christ, bro! It's him, Barry Sanders. I'm trying to think. Is there anybody else from the Lions that I would even?
You ain't throwing Stafford on there?
No.
No?
Fuck him.
He said, "Fuck him."
You ain't here no more, bro.
I feel you. But I asked them about Stafford. They said they still fuck with Stafford.
I don't care. That's them niggas. That's not me. You know, you and your old lady, go ahead and stay out there.
You rocking with golf though?
Huh?
You
I went. Yeah.
I'm rocking with golf, man.
I didn't think they shouldn't have gave him the bag this early, but
I'm rocking with golf. I'm glad they did because now he about to go even crazier. I feel.
I don't know, man. I'm scared, man. In my lifetime, I've never heard any Sports Center announcer or any football analyst talk about the Lions gonna be in the Super Bowl the next year. So now they jinxed. It's like this nigga's gonna be trash now.
No, bro, them niggas gonna go crazy. I got a feeling, bro. I'm telling you, it's something different about this squad right now, man. And I know we've always said that. It's always, but this year we went a lot further. It's not like we went a little further. We went a lot further. You know what I mean? Man. This past season.
And I live in Cleveland now, man. And going to work the day after they lost, nigga, was so painful.
Man. Oh. That shit hurt, bro. That shit hurt my pockets, man. Josh Reynolds, you ever watch this? You an asshole. Nigga dropped 5 passes. I only needed this nigga to have 6 more yards. I'd have won like 3 bands in the day, bro. This whole ass nigga was dropping so many.
Y'all gotta stop with the fantasy shit, man. Y'all gotta stop that. Whoever came up with this is
parlay, bro.
Like it's too much, man. Y'all expected too much of football players who already get expected too much of.
I'm expecting the ball. Did you play football growing up?
I was horrible, bro.
Okay, so listen. I played football. I was decent at least, nigga. When if the ball touches your hands, you're supposed to catch the ball.
Did that happen 100% of the time?
5 of them. He dropped 5 passes.
It happens, bro.
He dropped 5 passes that game. That's low-key why we lost. One of them was a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
That nigga dropped 5 passes.
I'm trying over here, bro.
Then he caught 2 of them in the second half and honey dicked us because he caught the second one. I'm like, oh, if he runs 6 more yards, I'm good. And he got tackled immediately. And I'm like, bro.
Wait a minute, did you say honey dicked?
Honey dick, yeah.
Oh my god. I don't think I even want to know what the fuck that means. Yo, I just realized, man, that our hour is up, man. If anybody want to get in touch with you, how they go about doing that, bro?
Man, Felix the Don on everything on Instagram, Felix_the_Don. If you type Felix the Don, I'm gonna pop up. Check me out on all social media, on all streaming platforms. We got music coming out every month with visuals. Catch me in Westland, Live Cannabis. I'm the GM over there. So if you need some weed, we'll take care of you. We also got locations in Ferndale, Lansing, Buchanan, Lapeer, Lake Orion, Detroit. So we everywhere, man. If you need some weed, we got you.
I actually know some people that be coming from here to there. So yeah, we definitely need to stay plugged in, bro. I'm gonna shoot you my math too. I'm gonna do you my math to you. If there's anything I can possibly do for you, bro, please don't hesitate to let me know, and I got you. Tag me and make me a collaborator in whatever you posted. I got you. Like if you friends with Mikey, man, you family with me.
I appreciate that, brother. Likewise, man. Let's hop on a call soon and really politic. And I appreciate you having me on your platform. I can't wait to share this with everybody so they can watch it. This was amazing.
No doubt, man. Appreciate your conversation, bro. It was dope.
All right, one love, brother.
No doubt. One love. Peace. Have a good one.
You too.
Y'all already know, man. This has been Jobs. This has been another episode of Intellectually Petty Radio. Yo, that was a dope ass conversation. Woo. So we got Bronco McCart. I want to say if I'm saying his name right next week, and hopefully Kim Asario. That would be pretty fucking dope. Anyway, on that note, man, I'm out. Y'all have a good one, man. Y'all have a dope ass day on purpose.